Welcome to the only talk show hosted by the lovable legend, Bigfoot.
Welcome to my talk show. My name is Bigfoot, and you are, sir?
Scott McKinley, Caviar Gold, Cavi Gold Records.
So, you're a record label producer or partner, a photographer, a videographer, and an owner-operator of Cavi Gold.
Yes, I work as the owner-operator of Caviar Gold in Washington.
Now, what's the difference between Washington and other states?
Well, there's the inventor of Caviar Gold, Michael Brunson, and he runs the California branch, and it's a product that I just know and believe is the best weed out there. So I want to stand behind it, and I got involved with him, and he's my partner on the record label. And music is expensive, so in order to keep everything going, I dropped my job at Verizon Wireless. Yes, I worked at Verizon Wireless. I was a sales guy, and I quit Verizon Wireless and went down to California. I learned all about Caviar Gold, and then I licensed the brand up here for Washington.
Now, how did you get into cannabis in the first place?
I got into it through being a photographer, because as a photographer, I was shooting a band named Lucero, and they asked me to manage them, and in trying to manage them, I called the only person I knew that was really smart and just a well-off person. It was Mike Brunson, and asked him to come check out the band, and it ended up us starting a record label.
For a person entering the music industry, whether you're a sound tech, producer, or a performer, what advice would you give?
Put things in the can, don't give them away so frequently. If you give away everything, you'll make all your customers stuffed, and they don't want to buy anything because you'll give them everything. So, I mean, you make an awesome album, and then I get invited to the album release party where you've thrown it on iTunes yourself, and then you've invited a label to check out your album release party. You just gave it away. I mean, what can I do with it now? It's cool. I would have done something with it if you wouldn't have given it away. The best thing you can do as a band is to get 3 albums, 9 music videos in the can, meaning nobody has ever seen it besides people in your band. If you get 3 albums, 9 videos in the can, there isn't a publicist in the world that wouldn't take you, because they'll have plenty of ammunition to do their job well. It's the worst thing in the world is when you start giving half the album out for free on YouTube, and then you go to a publicist and say, can you work it? Publicist is going to say, no, you've given half of it away. There's nothing exclusive yet for me to work a deal with. An exclusive trade means you're going to give a website the exclusive right to release it for the first week, and you're going to share nothing but their release of it. So you're going to trade their fans for your fans. And that's an exclusive business trade that publicists set up. When you give it all away and you release it all yourself, you don't have anything to trade. Your fan base isn't worth anything to other magazines or big websites or podcasts to release it and trade their fans for. Your whole idea of setting up an actual release with music videos is to have a release every 2 weeks on a whole 6-month push to build over time with exclusive releases, getting this person's fan base, then that person's fan base, and this person's fan base across a whole country, touring and getting interviews set up everywhere. It's a publicist's job, is to build your fan base through all of the dynamic partnerships that they have. And you can't do that if you give all your music away, and everybody in Seattle just likes to give it away.
Yeah.
You gotta give it away and build through dynamic partnerships and using everybody else's fans and building through connecting to their fans through exclusive releases and building with enough stuff in the can that nobody's seen. If you had a schedule of releasing that much music over 6 months to a year, then every 2 weeks you're going to have fans that are sitting there that Friday waiting for that release because they know and they expect, hey, on this next coming up Friday, I get a new release from this band. They're going to look at it every single time. Then you do a whole bunch of little hidden giveaways with acoustic songs and stuff, and you hook them all. At the end of your 3 music releases, then you put out the box set of everything with all the live performance video. And then you have 2 years of releases, 2 years of building. After 2 years of building, your ultimate goal is to get 50,000 fans, and then the big management companies and big tours will start looking at you. They'll crack the door open at 50,000.
At what point in an artist's career do they need to look towards like getting management, a booking agent, a music publisher? Like, at what stage would you recommend that?
Well, first you do enough releasing and giving stuff away in order to lock in your identity and build in enough on the market releasing to log in your logos and everything to get all your paperwork done. Once you have enough on the market releasing in order to log in your logos, show proof of market, then do all your paperwork, get your trademarks, get your everything done for your apparel, make sure you own everything that you want to release, and then take it to a manager to do the release, to push it all. Okay. I mean, if you don't have a fan base to manage yet, it's your job to do your own independent releasing and do everything yourselves as an independent person to build enough to say, I have an identity online. And when you get that identity and it's too much for you to handle, and then you have enough work for you just to start kicking out music, it's important to release a whole lot of music.
So you're kind of like your own hype man also?
You have to be. I mean, nobody's going to want to break a band these days. They only want to work with bands who broke themselves. It's the biggest thing I can possibly say. Look, I had a meeting for Lotus Crush with Terry McDermott. We went and sat in front of the manager of Linkin Park and sat down and talked to him, and he pulled up a few things that's very important to look at. And it was shocking to me what numbers he found most important. Number one thing he looked up for in front of us was YouTube. YouTube is the number one way of releasing music, and your YouTube numbers actually pay you better than any other streaming service out there. And it's the number one way to release stuff is with a visual. So YouTube was the number one thing he was worried about. On top of YouTube, he was looking up Shazam as the number two most important thing he wanted to know about our band. Why? Because Shazam is going to give him the report of where in the whole country people have actually pulled up that app to see where we were playing. And we had campaigns running all over gyms everywhere. We had campaigns running in grocery stores and everything. And for that type of music, you don't get the SoundScan payout on it, but we get the Shazam notes, and that records back of where people are actually listening to us. And that was really important for him to see is we could buy YouTube numbers, we can buy Facebook numbers, but Shazam's going to tell you if it's bullshit.
Yeah.
Number 3 was Facebook, then Instagram.
Why are you so passionate about music?
I mean, I always have been. I've been a guitar player, and since I was 3-4 years old, got my first guitar in the Philippines. And I grew up in the Philippines on military bases, and you have like music rooms to go play at, and you have music programs in schools that are well funded, and I've always had music there.
Can you speak Tagalog?
I can listen to it. I can speak certain words. I can hold a minute conversation.
What was one of your favorite spots to go to in the Philippines for adventure or fun?
Baguio City. It's up in the mountains.
What did you like about it? Just the view, or?
The Philippines is generally super hot, and that's the only place that was cool.
You and legendary Robert Lang, you've worked together. What was that partnership like?
He's an awesome guy. We got together with Robert Lang for our first album release, and through that band, we created a record label and started doing all of our music projects there. We shot many videos there. I run Seattle Music TV, another TV show that I'm building over years, and we've shot a lot of stuff inside of there. And I threw Robert Lang's 40-year anniversary party at the top of the Columbia Towers, and 2 floors, brought a whole bunch of bands in to play those 2 floors. So it was very awesome. And I mean, I've done a whole lot with Robert, and now they're running as the Robert Lang Academy, so they're teaching a lot of people how to do music.
So you've been in the music industry for almost a decade. How did you get started?
I started everything as a photographer. I never discount the camera. Bought the camera and started learning everything on Google. I'm totally Google trained. Started getting better and better using the camera, and started learning more and more of the venues, and then the promoters, and then the bands all started to learn me, and I shot basically everything for free. And then if you wanted your photos without the watermark, you gave me like $100 and I gave you all of them. And I did it just in order to buy new camera gear, and realized after so much networking that I knew everybody basically in the Seattle music scene through it.
So what are you working on now?
Right now we are pushing to fill all of the back orders of Caviar Gold and Caviar Silver. We have a whole bunch of back orders, and then the biggest takeoff of a product that we've had yet. So we're just rushing to fill all these orders and to do it right.
Well, so for those who don't know about Caviar Silver, I mean, what's Caviar Silver and Caviar Gold?
Well, Caviar Gold is our infused marijuana infused down to the stem all the way through, and then caked in keef on the outside, as opposed to what people think is caviar, which is a product like moon rocks, which I'll just go ahead and say, if you pack oil and keef all around a live plant like a moon rock, you split it open and it's green inside, there's a good chance that you've trapped moisture in that bud, and if it sits too long, it's going to mold on the inside too. We take all the moisture out of ours and we fill it full of oil all the way down to the stem and then pack keef around it. We have it in 6 flavors. Caviar Gold is all indoor, Caviar Silver is all outdoor.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
And of the plants that you use, do you separate them from like sativa and indica?
No, we're generally non-strain specific, although this last, the first batch of Caviar Gold we just released on the market, which is still all in stores right now, is Jack 1 on Jack 1 in Jack 1.
The Jack Herrera?
Yeah, it's all from Select Label, the same Jack 1 that goes in all of the Willie's Reserve joints.
Nice.
So it's all sativa on sativa in sativa.
So do you have, are you a sativa or indica yourself? Like what do you prefer?
I mean, I've gone a long time doing Caviar Gold now. And with Caviar Gold, it's just a Heinz 57 of as much of everything as you can pack into it. So I can't really tell the difference when I'm smoking Caviar Gold. It's just all heavy, it's all heady, it's all everything. But I don't know.
Now, I mean,
I like a sativa.
Sativa, okay.
Yeah.
Is there a certain delivery method that you prefer? Like, do you like dabs? Do you like joints? Do you like bongs?
Well, I mean, a joint's a staircase.
Yeah.
An infused joint's an elevator, or an escalator, sorry, and a dab's the elevator. So, I mean, the faster you can go up is what you're looking for.
Right.
I don't like to smoke a lot, I don't like to cough, so I usually stick to a cavi cone or a dab.
Yeah, I'm a big joint guy, but I do like the enhanced joints.
Mm-hmm.
So.
We as a company, Caviar Gold donates every single month to the American Cancer Society. We're real big into a lot of their programs, and they're really big against smoking, so they don't back anything carcinogen-wise. But they do want to do research on edibles and other ways of taking THC in order to fight stuff. So what we donate to them is a specific program. That program is taking people that have insurance, that have a doctor's appointment for chemotherapy or what have you, but don't have anybody that can take them to the doctor's appointment. And they're looking at a death sentence because they can't get to the hospital. So we're paying to take people to the hospital in our community.
So I noticed you have a 67 Gibson 12-string.
It's a 57 Gibson 12-string.
My eyesight must be bad. I'm sorry. Yeah, but you have a Gibson 12-string.
Yeah.
Do you know how to play that beast?
Yeah. You wanna see it?
Would you?
Yeah. There you go.
That was pretty cool. That was pretty cool. Now that you found Bigfoot, do you have any questions for me?
Do you live in this reality?
Well, in a faded reality.
So just my Bigfoot story real quick. I moved here to Washington, and I had never thought about Bigfoot more than Santa Claus or anything like that. And then I actually ran into people that, like, their whole family, like oldest to youngest, completely believed in Bigfoot. They completely believe that they were interdimensional and can switch out of our view sight and back into our view sight like a camouflage, and like 100% argued with me over it. I'd never in my entire life met people that believed in Bigfoot until I moved to Washington.
Well, I mean, I believe in you.
There you go. So, I appreciate that.
Yeah. As far as I can say, we're pretty laid back. It's all about the whiskey and the weed for us.
Okay.
So it's hard not to make friends over that, and that's kind of why, like, when I moved down to the city, I wanted to get to know people, and I love music, and
cool. Well, we're gonna bring you to Robert Lang Studios, and we're gonna have you interview Robert and somebody over there.
I'd be so honored, sir.
Cool.
It truly was my honor to meet you.
Awesome.
Thank you for taking the time.
Thank you.
And thank you so much.